What's up everybody, Kwame here, back again with another video, and today I want to talk about a camera that I've been really interested in for a while and a format that I've been interested in a while, and that is the Sony a7 II. This is probably the best budget full frame camera that you can get right now, because for under $1,000 you get the camera and a 28 to 70 millimeter lens. I've had this for about a week now, been using it a ton, and I have to say I am so in love with this camera. It's not perfect, we'll go over some of that, but I really love this camera. I really love the images I've been getting out of this camera. They look amazing. And so let's just talk about it. So this is the Sony a7 II. It came out about 5 years ago, so it's not a new camera by any means, but it does have in-body image stabilization. Sorry about the, I have these peak design things on here, so it's rattling against the camera. It has in-body image stabilization. It is really solid. Like, this is a very solid camera. It's made out of metal. The battery, the grip on here is pretty nice. It is a little small, so my pinky does kind of just hang out down here, but it's really nice. You have a really nice screen on the back. It's not touch screen, unfortunately, and it doesn't swivel around. None of the Sony cameras do that. It just swivels up, or up like this, so you could, you know, if you're shooting from the hip down here, you could shoot that way, and you can also bring it down this way a little bit. There you go. So you can get higher angle shots if you want to. It shoots 1080p video. It doesn't shoot 4K video, which is fine, because really, I mean, unless you're doing something for archivable reasons, 4K is a really big file. Like the G9 that I'm shooting on right now, the Panasonic G9, that shoots 4K, but they're massive files and take up a bunch of space, and so it's a lot. You know, I really like 1080 video anyways, especially if you're putting it up on YouTube or Facebook or something. It looks really good. The lens itself is really nice. So 28 to 70. I wish, it's really weird, I wish it was 24 to 70. That would just be like the perfect lens, but you can still do like a front facing selfie like this. I was able to take a picture. I'll put up a couple pictures here where I was able to take a picture just holding it out like this. Taking a picture worked perfectly fine. If you wanted to vlog with it, you could easily put this on a GorillaPod or something and hold it up. You know, you won't be able to see what your framing is because the lens doesn't, the back LCD doesn't flip around, but that's okay. You know, the images, the files that come out of this camera is really, really nice. It is a mirrorless camera, so, you know, you're getting all the goodness of a full frame camera. Yeah, you're getting all the goodness of a full frame camera. You know, the difference between like a full frame camera like this and my Panasonic G9 is just the size of the sensor. So in lower light, a camera like this will be able to perform a little bit better than a Micro Four Thirds camera. Even though I love this camera, I use it all the time. It is my camera that I've been using for professional video and photography since September, and I love it a lot. This camera, the images I get out of this camera are just super, super sweet. Now, I would say this camera is not for everybody. If you're primarily looking at doing video, I mean, this does have a headphone jack and a microphone jack, so you can do, you know, serious video with this if you wanted to. And when it came out, it was a powerhouse for video, like 1080p video. It looked really, really, it does still look really, really good video, but there's better cameras out here. Like I said, the G9, the new Sonys, you know, like some of the Fuji cameras, Canon cameras, I think even Nikon, like there are better video cameras. But if you're someone like myself who I like taking pictures and I wanted something that was really dedicated for pictures, this camera is a no-brainer. And yes, it is 5 years old and you're not getting the newest of everything, but you know, if you think about some of the great iconic pictures of our time, they weren't taken with the latest and greatest gear at the time, and those cameras and those pictures, I mean, are still holding up today. So it's not about the camera, it's not about the lens, it's about what you do with the camera. And I really, really like this camera. The dynamic range that you can get from this camera is unbelievable. I'll be putting up a picture here I took of my son and dog, and you can see from the straight JPEG, you know, my son it's backlit so my son's in shadow. But with the raw file, I was able to bring up the shadows so you can actually see his face, still preserve the highlights. It looks really, really amazing. You know, there's something about a full frame camera that you can get what they call like the 3D effect. So if you take a picture, they kind of pops out from the subject pops out from the image. I'm really looking forward to, I just ordered the 85 millimeter 1.8 lens that should be here today. So I will be playing with that over the next week. I actually have an event to shoot in a couple days here that I'll be using that with. And that's one of those lenses where you can really get that effect. I've been able to do it a couple times with the kit lens, and yes, this is a kit lens, but it's still really good. What I love about it is that when you zoom it in and out, only the front element here slightly moves in and out. So it's not a gigantic lens that is going in and out. It's a great everyday walk around lens. It is a little bit heavy, so if you wanted to save some weight, maybe you just buy like a 24 millimeter fixed focal length lens, and that would probably work well. But I like this lens. It's great. You know, I took this out with me to my local state park where I always go to take pictures, and it was great to, you know, have the G9 for the telephoto work, you know, if I'm getting eagles out in distance, and then to have this one to get more landscapes. And I was shooting a lot of panoramics with this. It is 24 megapixels. And again, you know, megapixels aren't everything. You can get really good images and prints from a 24 megapixel full frame sensor. The G9 that I'm shooting on is a 20 megapixel sensor, but again, it's not the same size sensor. This one is pretty big. So if I opened up the lens here, you can see the sensor there is pretty big. So it's you know, you're gonna get a good amount of light in. For low light, this has been an amazing camera. I really like the images. I've been able to push the ISO to 6400 and still looks very usable. You know, you're gonna see some grain, but it's not gonna be a ton of grain, and you could use like Lightroom to take some of that out. But I like how the grain looks in some of these pictures, and I'll put samples here for you also. So overall, if you're looking to get into full frame photography or full frame camera, and you don't want to spend $4,000, $5,000 on a camera, you can get a camera and a lens for under $1,000 right now on Amazon. I will have a link down below. You know, that is an affiliate link. So what that means is I get a small portion of the sale, like a commission from the sale. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help the channel, like a small channel like me, does help me out. And really, you know, I don't want to take sponsors on this channel. You know, you see people, you know, say sponsored by Squarespace or sponsored by whatever. I don't want to take any sponsors on this channel. I just don't feel like doing that. So if you could help me out by liking this video, if you like it, you know, follow me on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, I mean, and if you do want to purchase anything, you know, using the link down below from Amazon, or if you want to buy me a coffee, I have a link down there too, so you can send me a couple dollars to buy a cup of coffee. Thank you for this video. I will have more videos about the Sony A7 II here. I will also have some videos about the Panasonic G9 that I've been using for a long time, and it's well overdue for a review. And some other things. You know, this channel is gonna really, you know, this channel is gonna be about photography, video, my workflow, and other things that I like to talk about and want to talk about. So not just all photography, but things I'm interested in. Thank you as always for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Talk to you later. Bye bye.